Hey, good morning. This is KB the broker, and today we're going to talk about the 5 things you need to know before you purchase your first home. I am a licensed realtor, and I work in Chicago, Illinois, and surrounding suburbs. If you live in Chicago or surrounding suburbs, definitely give me a call, and I'll walk you through the process. And I would love to help you get you into your first home. But if you live outside of Chicago, or if you live like somewhere like Texas or something like that, or St. Louis, or if you live in Los Angeles, I'm not going to be able to help you. But if you live in Illinois, I'll definitely be able to help you find your first home. So give me a call. I'll give you all my information after this video. So I want to jump right into it today. The things that you're going to learn today is how much you're going to need to bring to closing, how long the process takes, what you need to get pre-approved, and a few other little things that's very, very important about getting a mortgage. So the very first thing that I want to talk about today is how will you know how much your mortgage is going to be, how much you can afford to pay every month. So once you get pre-approved, that's going to be step 2, but I'm going to bring it up now. Once you get pre-approved, let's say for instance, you get pre-approved for $150,000. That's what we're going to use today. Because when I got my first building years and years and years ago, that's how much I got pre-approved for. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm not just going to make up a story. I'm going to give you an example of what I went through and how it worked for me. So let's just say if you get pre-approved for $150,000. You got pre-approved for $150,000. What does that mean? Okay, this is what that means. You can get a house only up to $150,000. You can't get a house for $170,000 or $180,000 or $200,000. So if you're looking at a huge mansion that's $500,000, you can't get that house. But a place that's $150,000 or less, you can get that property. So say for instance you're looking at a single family home in Tinley Park, or you're looking at a single family home, let's just say in Orland Park, and it's $125,000 or $130,000. You can get that house. Or you can get a 2-flat or a 3-flat or a 4-unit building. We'll talk about that in another building in another video though. But you can get that property. Okay? So that's how that works. How much will your mortgage be? On a $150,000 loan, because that's what I had. $150,000 loan, your mortgage is going to probably be between $1,200 or $1,300. How did I come up with that number? Okay, so you say $150,000, 10% of $150,000 is like $1,500. That's about $1,500. So, and you knock off a few more $100, and that's how much your mortgage will be. So $150,000, $1,500. Knock off like maybe $200 or $300 more dollars, and that's your mortgage right there. That's how much your mortgage is going to be, including insurance and all of that stuff. You can kind of get it rolled into the mortgage. It's the way that you can get it rolled into the mortgage, so that it's going into the mortgage every month, and insurance and taxes and all of that stuff. And at the end of the day, you'll probably be paying about $1,300, $1,400 max, but it'd be between $1,200 and $1,400, depending on what your interest rate is. So that's how that works. So if you're paying right now, if you're paying in rent, say for instance you got a 3-bedroom apartment somewhere, and you're paying about $1,300 in rent or $1,400 in rent, you can definitely get you a mortgage. You can definitely get a mortgage. You can definitely get a loan of about $150,000. If you can afford to pay $1,300 in rent, you could pay $1,300, $1,400 in a mortgage. And the difference is you'll own your own home. It won't be like, okay, well, you're just paying your money to a landlord, and then after 2 or 3 years, he becomes a slumlord, and then you have to move. And now you don't have anything to show for it. That's what happened to me. We'll talk about that story at another time. I want to try to make this video as fast as possible, so we can just get through the steps that you have to take. Okay? All right. So number 2 is pre-approved. Getting pre-approved. Okay, but what am I going to need to get pre-approved? Okay, here's the things that you're going to need to get pre-approved. I'm going to be looking down because I wrote them down because I want to make sure that I get them all. You're going to need to be on your job for at least 2 years. You're going to need 2 of your most recent check stubs. You need 2 of the last year's tax returns. 2 of the last most recent tax returns. You're going to need that. You're going to need 2 of the last year's W-2s. And you're going to need 2 months of your last bank statements and an ID. Those are the basic things you're going to need. All the extra other stuff, sometimes you may need like a few extra other things, but those are basically the things that you're going to need. As long as you got those things, you should be fine. But you definitely have to be on your job for 2 years. A lot of the times, people are not going to give you a loan if you haven't been on your job for at least 2 years. You got to be on that job for at least 2 years, and you should be fine if you have that. And if you've been on your job for 2 years, you're gonna have 2 years tax returns. You're gonna have 2 years W-2s. You're gonna have 2 check stubs. But that's really what they want. They want you to be on your job for at least 2 years, and you should be fine as long as you have that. The next thing, step number 3, we're going to talk about closing costs. How much is the closing cost going to be? Sometimes it varies, but with the people that I work with really, really good people that own loan companies. These people, the people that I work with, is 2 guys that I work with. One guy is Glenn Crowner. He owns Loan Depot. And another guy I work with is Glenn Marino. Both of the guys are named Glenn. Anyway, the other guy's named Glenn Marino. He owns, I can't think of the name of the company, and I don't want to mess the name of it up. So anyway, I'll deal with 2 guys. They both own loan companies. They're both really, really good guys. I work with those guys because they're like, own it. They're going to call you. They're going to get your information. They're going to get you pre-approved really, really fast. They don't play games. When you're calling and you're trying to find out, okay, well, what's going on with my loan and how long is it going to take for me to close and, where are we at in the deal? Those are the people that you're going to be talking to. So I deal with those guys because they're on top of their business. They work like me. They're just like me. I'm really, really on top of my business, and I want to move it as fast as possible and get everything done and get everything processed as fast as possible. I don't like to wait. And a lot of these companies, when you go deal with them, they'll get you pre-approved, and you can't get them on the phone. I have a guy that I'm dealing with right now. He's trying to get pre-approved, and he's taking forever for somebody to just call him back. I don't work with people like that. Everybody that I work with, everybody that I'm affiliated with, everybody that's on my team, we all take care of business very, very efficiently, because I feel like if you're not doing it very efficient, you're not really in business. So I don't have time for games. But anyway, those are the 2 guys that I deal with. They get you pre-approved. And the closing costs that you're going to probably need to bring to the closing table is about $3,500. So that's how much you need to have saved. Between $3,500 to $4,500. It's probably not going to be $4,500. I'm just saying that just to be on the safe side. So just in case it's time to go to the closing table. And you're like, oh, I looked at this video that you had, Ken, and you said $3,500, and now I'm short on my money. So just have like $4,500 saved up before you even start the process, or, you just make sure that you have that amount of money, so you just make sure that you be okay when it's time to go to the closing table. So that's the closing cost. Have you about $3,500 saved before you even start the process? Because when you go to the closing table, it's something called closing cost that you're going to have to pay for. The closing cost is stuff like the attorney's fees. It's going to be stuff like the fees to pay the loan originators, like the people like the guys that do the loans, they need to get paid. So the attorneys, other little taxes and fees and stuff like that. That's what closing costs are. So $3,500. That's about how much you're gonna need altogether to bring to the closing table. So that's how much you need. So when you renting and you got like first month rent, first month security, it's basically like the same thing. So if you got a house somewhere and you didn't put down first month rent, first month security, and it's about $4,000 or $4,500 or $3,000 or $3,500. Look at it like that. But versus you giving somebody your first month rent, first month security, you giving somebody the closing costs, and that's getting you into your house. Okay, so that's the closing costs. So that's number 3. Number 4 is basically picking your house. So once you got pre-approved and once you got your $3,500 already saved up, now it's time to find your house. That's where I come in at. That's when you're going to call me, the guy that you see on this video, KB the broker. You're going to call me and you're going to say, okay, Ken, I got pre-approved and now I'm ready to find my house. So this is how this works. The first thing you need to do is figure out where you want to live, wherever you want to live. We're in Chicago. I only work in Chicago and surrounding suburbs. So this is what we're going to do. Let's just say, okay, well, I want to live in Beverly, and I also want to look at some houses in Evergreen, and I also want to look at some houses in the Country Club Hills. I'm pre-approved for $150,000. I'm paying right now in rent probably about $1,200 a month, so I really don't want to go over nothing that's $140,000. So that way I know that my rent will still be $1,200 a month. So I want 3-bedroom home with a 2-car garage. My son, he has problems walking, so I don't want anything with any stairs. I want everything to be on the first floor. I want everything to be brand new. I just want a home that I can move right into, and it has to be, basically close to my job. So those are the things that you're probably going to tell me when you call me. I want a house that's brick. I don't want I don't want anything that's like real old and outdated. I want something that's fairly new, and that I could just move right into, move my family right into. The bedrooms are big enough to fit my queen size bed. The closets are big enough to fit all of my clothes and all of that stuff. And I want 2 or 3 bathrooms. So when we talk on the phone, those are the things that you're going to tell me. When I find that out, I'm going to I'm going to create a search. I'm going to send you houses just like that you asked me for, in Beverly, and Evergreen, and in Country Club Hills. Now, you can live anywhere that you want to live, but I'm just using this as an example. As a person that's just saying, okay, this is the area that I want to live at. Okay? So I'm going to send you probably about 20 to 30 homes. Once you look at those homes and you say, okay, Ken, I like this one, I like this one. Matter of fact, I like 6 of these houses. When can we go see them? I'm probably going to set up a day and a time for us to go see all those houses on the same day, so we just knock it all out. So we'll block out probably about 2 or 3 hours in our day. We'll go out, we'll go see all those houses. You won't be rushed. You'll walk around all the houses. You can ask questions. You can look in the cabinets. You can look outside of the house. You can look inside the garage. Look at the closet space. Look at the bedroom space. Look at the neighborhood. Look at the block. You better look at all of that stuff. Once you make your decision on what home that you want, then we'll put in an offer. We'll write an offer of what the home is worth, or if we want to negotiate a little bit, we'll negotiate a little bit. Say, for instance, the house is worth $140,000. We'll probably offer let me give you an example, like maybe $130. Try to talk them down a little bit on the price, so you won't have to pay the total price. And a lot of times that works. Nobody really pays the normal price that houses are selling for. People always negotiate. I want to tell y'all that because when I bought my first house, they didn't tell me that. The first building that I bought, they did not tell me that. The asking price was just let's say the asking price was $150. I paid $150,000. This is my first house that I bought. I was about 21 years old. It was a 4-unit building. It was on 88th and Escanaba. It was my first property. And the realtor that I had didn't negotiate. They didn't do anything. They didn't really. They were just there. They were just there to get a commission. I'm not like that. I'm not gonna do you like that. I'm gonna make sure that you know everything. If this is your first time, it's probably a whole lot that you don't know. You're gonna be nervous. I'm gonna probably know a whole lot more than you, but don't be worried about it because I'm gonna treat you like you're my cousin or one of my brothers or my little sister or my auntie. And I'm gonna make sure that you get the right deal, and you're not gonna get to the closing table and have all these things pop up, or you're not gonna pay regular price for the property. We're gonna try to negotiate it down and get you a better price. So that's step number 4 on how that works. The next thing that I want to talk about is closing and how long that takes. How long closing takes? It could really vary from who you're dealing with, from what loan company that you're dealing with. The guys that I deal with, it takes about 30 to 45 days max. The things that slow closings down, the things that slow closings down is stuff like, okay, it's really a paperwork game. Once you done found your house and you got pre-approved and everything, and you picked out the house and we submit the offer, at that point, it's really out of our hands. I'm not really dealing with that part anymore. The attorneys are dealing with that. The loan company is dealing with that. They're asking for paperwork from the attorneys. They're asking for paperwork from this guy. They might need to see your bank statements. So they're really asking for paperwork. After that, it's really a paperwork thing. So you can call and ask, well, how much longer is it going to be before it's time to go to closing? And how much, long is it going to be for this and that? But before you go to closing, you're going to already know how much you're going to have to bring to the closing table. You're going to already know what your interest rate is, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about getting to the closing table when they tell you got a 21% interest rate. You're already going to know. And right now, it's very, very low interest rates. They're very compatible, so you don't have to worry about having a high interest rate. It's not like going to buy a car and they're trying to stick you with a high interest rate. It's not going to be like that, especially with the people that I work with. So it's going to take about 30 to 45 days. It's going to take about 30 to 45 days. The reason why I think that you definitely should go with me when you decide to purchase your first home is because I really have everything already set up. I got a whole team. They're already set up. I basically have I have two people that own loan companies. It's not some girl that I know that works at the loan company or some friend that I know that works there. Now, these two guys, they own the loan company. I'm a really, really efficient and really, really good broker. I'm gonna make sure that I take care of every client that I get. I answer the phone when I'm called. If I don't answer the phone, I definitely will respond within a timely manner. I'm gonna leave my cell phone number today, and I'm gonna leave my email address. I'm gonna leave my website address, and I want you to just go on there and go on my website and look at how great it is. We just finished it up, and I'm really, really excited about it, and I definitely want you to see it. But those are basically the 5 steps of the things that you're going to need before you purchase your first home. Okay? So subscribe to this page and like this video. You can follow us on Facebook. I'm going to leave all that stuff in the descriptions below. You can follow us on Facebook. I want you to follow our Facebook groups. It's a lot of people in our groups that's purchased their first homes and other realtors. Well, really, it's not any other realtors. I'm really going to be the only realtor in there. But you can get me. You can get me directly, and you can talk to me directly. You can talk to people that's going through the process. So, if you're nervous or if you have any questions, you can go to my group and ask a couple of questions. And, other people that's purchased their first homes or going through the process of purchasing their first homes, you'll be able to get them there. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us. All the links are going to be on the below because there's a whole lot of places where you can follow us and a whole lot of places that you can contact us at. My cell phone number is 773-808-4321. I'm going to give it to you again. 773-808-4321. My name is KB the Broker. I'm happy that you sat here and watched this video for these 17 minutes. And I look forward to hearing from you and look forward to helping you get into your first home. Okay? Have a beautiful, blessed day. And see you on the next video. Bye-bye.